In India, the chief of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, Mohan Bhagwat, has warned against the growing anti-India sentiment in Bangladesh. The RSS leader highlighted the rising number of cases of attacks on minority groups after former Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's ouster. Since August 5th, there has been an increase in the instances of mob lynchings and attacks on places of worship belonging to the minorities in Bangladesh. Over 2,000 incidents of communal violence have been reported since then, and over 1,000 businesses have been targeted. In recent days, despite calls for tolerance during the Hindu festival of goddess Durga, minorities came under attack once again. More than 35 incidents of communal violence were reported. The incidents of violence in neighboring Bangladesh have drawn widespread criticism from leaders across India. In his Dussehra speech, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat focused on the dangerous trend of radical outfits in Bangladesh trying to paint India in bad light while portraying Pakistan as their real friend.
A specific narrative is in circulation in Bangladesh about India being anti-Bangladesh force. They say that Pakistan is their real friend. Since Pakistan has nuclear powers, a combination of Pakistan-Bangladesh may deal with India and try to contain it. The country that received full support in its creation is now encouraging such a narrative against India.
Bhagwat also expressed concern over the conflict in West Asia, claiming that the spillover of the Israel-Gaza war can have a profound impact on other countries.
The war that started between Israel and Hamas, everyone is worried about how broader it will be and what impact it will have on others.
In a statement on Saturday, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs condemned the incidents of violence on minority communities, calling them deplorable. It has urged the Bangladeshi government to ensure the safety of Hindus and other religious minorities. We call upon the government of Bangladesh to ensure the safety and security of Hindus and all minorities and their places of worship, especially during this auspicious festival time. This is the statement that the MEA has issued. And for the latest, we are joined by Ambassador Veena Sikri, who is a former Indian High Commissioner in Bangladesh. Thanks for your time, Ambassador Sikri. Now, you have been the former Indian High Commissioner in Bangladesh. You perhaps, to a great measure, understand the gravity of the situation of minorities in the country, the sensibilities that prevail there, and the ones that prevail diplomatically between the two countries. In view of the current attacks on minority groups and interests, what do you make of the RSS Chief's address? Your initial thoughts?
Yeah, well, I must say that I think the RSS Chief, Mohan Bhagwatji's address, his remarks on what is happening in Bangladesh were very relevant and very accurate. Because actually the regime change operation that took place on 5th of August, that ousted former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and brought in an interim government which has a secular face like Professor Muhammad Yunus as a chief, but it is backed by the Jamaat-e-Islami. So in fact, the entire regime change operation has come about through the forces of the Jamaat-e-Islami coordinating between Bangladesh and Pakistan. And this is the Jamaat-e-Islami that was opposed to the Liberation War of 1971, that was opposed to India's participation, in support of the freedom-loving people of Bangladesh. And now they are reviving that. They're saying that the 1971 was a mistake, a 1971 war was a mistake, and we have to go back to the previous pre-1971 relations between Pakistan and the then East Pakistan and now Bangladesh. Now, this is a very worrisome situation because they are saying, for example, let's change the constitution. Throw out the old constitution. The old constitution was made in India. And I think this is reflected, this exactly what Mohan Bhagwatji has said, reflected in the messaging against India. A vicious anti-India campaign has been started. It has been in position for a long time by the Jamaat-e-Islami, but it has been whipped up now at this time, and it has led to attacks on the Hindus. It has led to the Durga Puja pandals being destroyed. In Chittagong, for example, yesterday, while the Durga Puja was going on, some children, Islamist children, barged in and started singing Islamist songs. So they are doing all this just to disrupt the life of the Hindus. And we also know that yesterday, a very precious gift given by Prime Minister Modi to the Jashureshwari Durga temple in Satkira has been stolen. And it was given, because that's a very important temple. It's a Shakti Peeth, very much revered by all Hindus across the world. And it has now been stolen, and there's no answer. Our Indian High Commission has made a protest. These are all indications of the feelings that are being generated against the Hindu community. But as you have rightly pointed out, it's a moment of strength for the Hindu community. They have determined that they will stay on, and they will fight for their rights, and they also are citizens of Bangladesh. I think we have to really take this up very strongly, not only with the interim government in Bangladesh, but I think with all freedom-loving people all over the world. And I think this kind of Islamism, ultra right-wing conservative Islamism that is sweeping the powers that be in Bangladesh. I don't think they have that much support among the people, but certainly the forces behind the interim government are led by these extremist forces, and this is what the point of worry is. And these extremist forces are trying to bring together the Jamaat-e-Islami, the Hifazat-e-Islam, the Islami Andolan Bangladesh, all the Islamist parties. They're trying to bring them together so that they can get a greater vote share in the elections, because we do know that the Jamaat-e-Islami does not get has never got more than 10% in the vote share in any election held in Bangladesh. And so now they're trying to bring together the forces. They're trying to weaken the forces of liberalism. They're trying to remove the forces of democracy and secularism, as they are mentioned in the present Bangladesh constitution. And these are very disturbing trends. We certainly are keeping a very sharp eye on it, but one has to recognize that these are disturbing trends, and they should not be allowed to continue, because it can really cause instability, not only in Bangladesh, but in the entire region.
Right.
And I think that it is because of this that government of India is paying so much attention to it. They have given another statement yesterday. They had given several statements earlier. And I think that there are so many liberal-minded Muslim countries in the world,
Right.
countries like UAE, like Saudi. We should all be talking to them and look what is happening. These ultra right-wing forces trying to come and destroy the fabric of a secular, democratic, nationalistic society that Bangladesh has had for more than 50 years. For 50 years, they've been an independent country. But even before that, the forces which combine the Bengali identity and the Muslim identity were very much in evidence in East Pakistan.
Right. Ambassador Sikri, in the spirit of democracy and equality that you speak of, Mr. Bhagwat's speech comes at a time when the Ministry of External Affairs has issued a statement calling upon the Bangladesh government to ensure the safety and security of Hindus. And this is, of course, following a spate of attacks on temples during the ongoing Durga Puja festival. What bearing will these have on the actual condition of the minorities in the country getting ameliorated? How much do you think their condition will improve?
I think the most important thing is to draw attention to what is happening, and I think the Government of India statement has been admirable in achieving that objective. And I think even a few days ago, I saw a statement even from the American State Department hoping that Durga Puja celebration would go well. And I'd like to also draw your attention to the attacks on the Buddhist community in Khagrachari and in other parts of the Chittagong Hill tracts. And there have been strong reports about that and strong statements about that made by the Human Rights Association, human rights groups, and saying that, the attacks on the Buddhist community is saying that even the army joined, the Bangladesh army, who has been given magistracy powers and police powers in Bangladesh, even they joined in the attacks on the Buddhist community. There was, destruction of homes and looting and abductions and so on. And the bishop of Dhaka has also made a similar statement that even the Christian community has not been spared. So I think the coming together of the Buddhist, Christian, and the Hindus and all other minorities is an important factor, because they realize that all of them are under attack, and the Islamist forces want to really perhaps expel these communities from their country. And it's a very worrisome trend that in this day and age, when the whole world is moving towards moderation, towards democracy, towards secularism, and you have in Bangladesh a whipping up of this anti-secular, anti-democratic feeling, because they should be really planning for elections within the next 90 days, but they're talking about reforms, and the reforms call is being backed by the Jamaat-e-Islami. All the posts are going to Jamaat-e-Islami people. It is, I think, a matter of great worry, and I can see that our government is got a very close eye on it. And I must say that the statement by Mohan Bhagwat ji has only reinforced the concern of the widespread concern of people across India. All across India, we are all watching what is happening in Bangladesh, and it is absolutely correct that all groupings, Mohan Bhagwat ji, Government of India, all others, should be expressing their individual concerns on this, and should be arousing the interest and concern of the world community on this important issue, because bringing these kind of forces into Bangladesh will have a destabilizing effect on South Asia, on Southeast Asia, on many other aspects.
Right. Thank you so much, Ambassador Veena Sikri, for joining us on the broadcast and so eloquently expressing your thoughts on this.
Thank you. Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.